7 tips on breaking a GLP-1 stall. If you are experiencing a stall right now, my friends, you are not alone. I'm in the same boat. Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to Nadia Beez. I'm currently on week 24 of my GLP-1 journey. I'm on tirzepatide with B6. My total weight loss currently is 49 pounds. I lost 7 pounds on keto. The rest of it, I started January 29th, and I have lost on GLP-1, my friends. I have been having this very slow moving progress for the past month and a half. And in the last 4 weeks, my last 4 weigh-ins, I lost a whopping 3.2 pounds. Now, if I look at it in total like that, I'm like, wait a minute, that is still a loss. I'm still losing a little bit. So I do have some decisions to make this week, what I'm going to do for next week, but we're going to be talking about tips and things that I will also be doing because I'm trying to figure out what to do and how I can fix my situation, make sure that I'm on the right track. Number one, prioritizing protein is so super important. And I feel like these last 2 days, I failed. I had like a girls' night in South Carolina. So, driving a few hours here and there. And then today we did some travel with my husband. Another day of just kind of nonstop and being around food that just was not protein forward. And I feel like I kind of did really bad this week when it comes to that, or at least these last few days. I just didn't do as well as I should have. But let's talk about how we should calculate our protein. So what I do is this. My goal weight is 140. I'm thinking for my height, I can actually make it 135. You want to kind of stay in a range where you feel like is going to be your ideal weight for your height. Of course, I do this coming off of BMI. I took a BMI calculator, and yes, I know I could have muscle. Yes, BMI calculator is not the best thing in the world, but at least it gives you some sort of an idea where to go or how to kind of find that weight that is going to be correct for you. I don't know what the right phrase is here. But I calculated mine, and mine should be around 135 to 40 at kind of the high end of it. So what you do is you take that weight, not that weight you're currently in, but the weight you want to be your goal weight. So mine is, as I said, 135. Multiplied it by 0.7. And then I multiplied it by 1. So of course, if I take 135 multiplied by 1 is going to be 135. So that'll take my daily protein goal of 95 grams of protein to 135 grams of protein. So I shouldn't really go below 100. I'm kind of taking it let's just make that as our little goal for my protein. This is why we sometimes do use protein bars and protein drinks to kind of try to meet that goal. Today when I got home, I grabbed one of these cans because I'm not hungry. I had a big, full, busy day, but I do know that I need to meet that goal. Is it ideal? No. Yes, I wish I could have just eaten a piece of chicken breast, but I am full, I can't, it's late at night, so I just kind of drank the protein. And you know what? I'm okay with that too. Just look and see if you are making that goal for the day. Number 2, strength training. We can't forget our muscles. Our muscles are so important, and we can't forget the fact that our muscles weigh way more than our fat. And therefore, when we're in a stall, maybe we're doing everything right, but we're gaining muscle and we're losing fat. So the scale kind of stays a little bit in the same place because you're gaining that muscle. Now, what my husband and I have noticed these few weeks that we've both kind of been in a stall. My husband's been even in a longer stall than me, But what we're noticing is we can actually look in the mirror, and as much as I have body dysmorphia, that's another video, and it's not what you're thinking, but it's another video. We're actually seeing a difference. We're seeing a difference in our sizes and the way we're looking. He's like, Nadia, you look different. And I look at him, I was like, whoa, you look different. But this whole month and a half, both of us have been on this insane stall. He started GLP-1 a month after me, but we're just both kind of experiencing this weird stall, and it is normal for the majority of us, as long as we're making sure that we're good on, our protein, our workouts, our fiber, all of that, and our water. With that said, I will be focusing doing strength training 2 to 3 times a week. And it doesn't mean that I'm just like trying to be the strongest Nadia there is. No, but I am doing it consciously, making sure that at least half hour. If you can't get to the gym, my friends, grab some dumbbells, get some water bottles, get some cans of corn, whatever you can get your hands on. Put on a YouTube video with light resistance training, something, and work those muscles. It all depends on your strength and, of course, where you are on your journey. Number 3, we're going to look for hidden slips, or maybe those calories that we are not realizing are as much as they are. I have been counting carbs, net carbs, counting calories my entire life. But I feel like, you know what? This is a good time to take 5 days, grab a calorie counting app. I'm not promoting any of them. There's a few of them on our market. Just type in a calorie counter, download whatever looks good to you. And I want to do like a 5-day, maybe 3-day of full kind of like, what am I eating? And I'm going to try to eat the foods I regularly eat. My yogurt, my chia seeds. Maybe I'm taking too much of something. Maybe that piece of bread, even though it's, I don't know, maybe it's a low carb bread, but it has something hidden that maybe it's high calories or something. I'm using that as an example, of course, but I just feel like I need to do just a quick overrun of, okay, what am I doing? And I'm going to be putting in everything. If I take a little bit of ketchup, that is going in my little app. With that said, of course, we are going to be drinking 80 to 120 ounces of water. I don't mess with water. Water is something that I'm very, very serious about, because I feel like a lot of negative things that have been associated with GLP-1 were due to the simple fact that some people may not have been drinking as much as they should have. Saying that, I'm going to, of course, throw in a disclaimer, my friends, but I'm speaking from experience for myself. When I started this journey, I thought I was getting enough water, but I was not. So I'm like, okay, we need to do the math, because I started having pains in my thighs, and I'm like, why are my thighs hurting? And then I asked my medical professional, and they said, you might not be getting enough water. Why don't you try, 20 more ounces, 40 more ounces of water the next day or 2 and see what happens. Boom, went away. So I thought I was getting enough water, and I was not. 80 ounces of water is just not enough for me. As for someone that's, 200 and I was going to say 260 pounds, but I'm not anymore. I'm 241, almost. Speaking of that, my current weight is 240.6. Not that it matters, but you need to make sure that you have enough water for your body. At that time, I was a 283, and I was definitely not drinking enough water at 80 ounces. So I had to definitely increase the water amount. So just make sure you're drinking enough water for your body weight. Speaking of water and all those good things that water is doing for us, my friends, that takes us into number 4, which is fiber intake. Fiber is super important, and we need to be taking anywhere from 25 grams of fiber to 35 grams of fiber on GLP-1. But if you are taking way less than that, Be very careful as you're increasing your fiber, because if you're taking 5 grams of fiber and you're going to go to 35 grams of fiber, you may have some gastrointestinal issues in your tummy because your tummy is just not used to all of that fiber. In the same token of adding fiber, well, wait a minute, let's see how much fiber we're already taking. Is it in your chia seeds, or maybe your raspberries, or maybe your broccoli, or whatever you're taking? Look at the food you're taking and figure out how much fiber you're actually taking in. And that is why I'm going to be doing one of those apps for a few days to make sure that maybe I'm not taking enough, or maybe I'm taking too much of something. And just, you want to kind of find that beautiful balance of food. But fiber is, as I said, 25 to 35 grams of fiber is what the medical professionals recommend on GLP-1. Number 5 is managing stress and sleep. Now, we all lead such different lives, and maybe we have stressors at our job, in our families, whatever the situation, my friends, take a deep breath, grab your water, and let's figure out how to keep that stress out, because stress equals higher cortisol, which means a little bit of water retention. When it comes to my sleep on GLP-1, my friends, I have not slept like this in ages. I used to sleep 4 to 6 hours would be a miracle for me. Like, it would be something special if I actually slept 6 hours, but 4 to 5 hours was my average. And I was like, there's something wrong with me. What is going on? Everyone's saying you're supposed to sleep 7 hours. I'm like, well, that doesn't ever happen. The only time I remember sleeping well without GLP-1 for years is when I'm on a cruise. Believe it or not, we always take a balcony cabin, and I like to keep the door a little bit open, and that fresh air comes in from the ocean. For some reason, that puts me to sleep like at 8 o'clock, which my husband still, like, it shocks him every time it happens. On the ship, I sleep like a little baby. But when I get off the ship, that's it. 4 hours of sleep, I'm up, I'm walking around, I'm doing something, I can't sleep. So for me, GLP-1 has been a blessing in many ways, and sleep is definitely one of them. But if it's not for you, then definitely try to prioritize sleep, my friends, and try to de-stress, because we want to make sure that our bodies are functioning at our highest capacity on this little journey. Number 6 is adjusting to your current weight. Wait a minute, what does that mean? What I didn't realize is, wait a minute, I lost a lot of weight. I don't need to eat as much as I ate when I was 280 pounds. I'm 240 right now. Maybe I need to eat a little less. And that is another reason why I'm going to be going through this app and seeing what my body needs. Maybe I need to eat more. Maybe I'll find out and I'm just like, I'm getting way less protein than I need, or I'm getting way less fiber than I need. So then we'll just adjust. Or maybe my calories are a little high. I'm a little scared of that one. I feel like that is just something that needs to be addressed. We need to adjust. I mean, if you've lost significant amount of weight, maybe we just need to adjust our routine. As simple as that, my friends. And number 7, what if we need to increase our dose? I have been on 10 milligram for the past month and a half, and you're like, wait a minute, Nadia, that's the amount of time that you have been kind of on this little stall. Yes, that is true. But at the same token, I have no food noise, and I feel like I'm eating okay. But since I'm having doubts in myself, that's why I'm doing the app thing, of course, as I said. But my body has been changing also. So I decided to, you know what, I'm going to wait, see what happens. I'm not in a hurry. I'm not in a competition with anyone else. I don't need to lose 100 pounds in a year to prove something to myself and to anybody. I want to lose this weight in a healthy way, doing my very best, what I can for my body. Even though I do sometimes make poor decisions once in a while, like this weekend. And you know what? That's okay, because that's life. We can't just stop life. We're living, we're doing things. And As I said, I'm not in a hurry because I'd rather lose the weight gradually. But with that said, number 7 would be to possibly titrate up. Those are the 7 tips that I'm implementing in my life, and I'm sharing with you, my friends, because we are such an awesome and a wonderful community. My friends, if you have any suggestions or tips, definitely leave them in the comments below. As somebody who's been on YouTube for the past 6, 7, even almost like 8 years, but I was really slow when I started, you know what I mean? But you never know how a comment can absolutely change somebody else's life. If you enjoyed this video and our little conversation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, give us a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, suggestions, or would just like to chat, definitely leave me a comment below. Have a happy and beautiful week. Bye-bye, my friends.